Tommy, unfortunately, once again, we're talking about a refereeing decision.
Well, you are. I'm not. I'm talking about a fantastic team effort. I picked the right team again. We put ourselves in a winning position against a team, again I'll say it, infrastructurally, financially, historically, should be walking all over the top of us, but we've come here and I feel we deserve to go away with something from the game. I think a draw might have been a fair result from both managers' points of view. We had our chances to win it. They had periods of spell I completely expected, which I thought we weathered ever so well. But when the game's taken away from you by a decision that there can only be one person in the ground sees the thing that he's seen to give the penalty, because it's possibly one of the best tackles I've seen this season, if not before. And like I said, the lad who made the tackle has been impeccable throughout the game. I don't think he's made a foul in the game actually. And then I know the lad would not have gone to ground if he didn't know he was going to win the ball. He won the ball, it's as simple as that. So, we know, cry over spilt milk and what have you, but ultimately we've come away with nothing. But anybody here, whether you're in the blue and yellow of Kings Lynn, or if you're in the blue of Southend, you'll see two teams on an even keel, in my opinion.
But it was that decision, and you're absolutely right, because everybody around us, even though they were Southend diehards, said not a penalty.
Yeah, well, like I said, the referees have a split second to make it. What I think is, if you look at the where the ball's rolling towards the goal line, as it were, albeit wide of the goal, and then all of a sudden Ross makes the challenge, the ball nearly goes out for a throw-in. So he's won the ball. It's simple. It's not. There's no argument about it. It's not like a dubious decision. It's just, how do you get that wrong? It's in the 90-odd minute of the game. We have, like I said, done enough, in my opinion, possibly to have nicked it, but definitely have come away with something. We aren't getting the bus and go home with nothing, which is really disheartening. But the lads have been told, I think I've said it to you guys, I'm approaching every single game as a one-off thing. It's a cup game. We lost this cup final, but we go again, we dust ourselves off. The lads are going to get a couple of days break. They'll be in on Monday, and we'll have Ball and Murray Mark. So it'll be a different challenge, so it'll be a different team, I can tell you now. The players have been told in no uncertain terms before the game that it's time to ship in or ship out. So there might be one or two things happen that you'll be interested in at the beginning of next week. But what they do know now is I've had enough of looking and being nice. Now I'm going to be looking and being as brutal as I can be.
But there were so many positives to take from this. I mean, Harry Phipps on his debut, very good at the back, and obviously a debut goal as well.
Yeah, I mean the goal's a bonus, but we know he's effective in both boxes. He's also, he's an honest lad. He's game. He'll head a brick for you, and I think there's not enough of that in the group. I think if you look at who I've brought in, Zane Walker apart, they're all combative lads, because I'm going to say it because I've said it in there. I feel that's where we've lacked. We cannot, as a football club, expect to turn up and out football every team in this division. You've got to go toe to toe with them. And if you win most of your battles, which we did for the first 15 minutes or whatever it was, we'll get there. I know what I'm doing, and they now know what I'm doing is the right thing to do. So my attitude and my approach to the games will be as it's been. I make sure I'm the first to know about the opposition. The players get drip-fed information through the week, and the day before the games, we have a play. Every player in or out of the team will know what their role is and what the bloke next to them is. What I want is, if you're one person and he's next to you, I want you to affect him more, and I want him to affect him more. I don't think we've got that kind of character in a lot of the players. That's just because of the era they're from. They've been brought up these days. Coaches tell youngsters, don't tell your mate what to do. Well, yeah, you do have to tell your mate what to do, because it'll help you as well, and help him. So, like you said, I don't want to rant on and rave, but frustrating is the word I'm going to use. I'm very frustrated because, quite simply put, the game did not deserve to be decided by the people who were there to manage the game.
Absolutely. Spoilt it totally, didn't it? And denied you of some reward.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's move on to Tyler Denton, who has made a welcome return back from injury, and the curse strikes again.
Yeah, I mean, his shoulder popped out. Sometimes, I mean, they got to be fair, the medical staff here at Southend made a brilliant response to him straight away. In fairness to the lad, by the way, who Tyler fouled, the lad actually, that just shows you something about footballers. Everybody thinks they're cheats and they'll do anything for a quid and things like that. They look after each other themselves. He realised Tyler was distressed. The medical team, including Tyler, went flying over to him, and I believe they popped him in as quickly as they could. So, with a bit of luck, there'll not be too much collateral damage for him, because he's definitely somebody that I want in and around the group, because he's very, very quality.
There could have been more goals in this game.
Yeah.
Both keepers pulling off really good saves.
Brilliant. I mean, like I said, we don't expect to come to Southend United and dominate the game and have more chances, more, anything than them. They're at home. They've got I don't know what the crowd was. 5,000 people. 6,000. It's a great atmosphere. Great game, I thought. Either team could have laid claim to have nicked it, and that's what it would have been, because both goalies had decent games. But like I said, the frustration for me is the game's been decided by people who shouldn't really be doing that. It should be decided by the ability and the what have you on the pitch with the ball.
Just waiting for the luck to turn, aren't we? The tide to change.
The best manager I've ever worked for said to me, he doesn't believe in luck, but he believes you need it. Not exactly the same mindset, bless him. He's not the only one. He said that to me when I was a young lad, and I'm waiting for that there fruit, because we've been on the wrong end of some smelly decisions the last few weeks.
Just finally from me, one positive from an onlooker is that you're creating more and you're testing defenders and keepers more now.
Absolutely. Like I said, I think because the structure I put in place is non-negotiables, I'm still working at that, by the way. There's certain people programmed or computerized to play sideways and backwards, and I don't want to do that. You look at Southend tonight, what they did repetitively again and again and again, they asked questions of our back three. So from that point of view, if they're doing it, and this is a club that were playing the Championship 10 years ago, or whatever it was, we were a village team 3 seasons ago. Learn every day. They didn't want to try and play like Manchester City or Liverpool. They know what they're doing. Cave's a fantastic football man, and they've got people here who know what they're doing. Their fortunes have changed. I don't see why ours won't.
Can I know you don't want to talk about the referee.
Don't ask me then.
No. But is there any way you can appeal the red card?
You didn't get it. Make my red card. Well, if I'm going to get sent off for flicking a gel packet to the 4th official, then there's something gone blatantly wrong with the game of football, lads. Come on, I mean, he said to the ref, he's thrown something at me. I went, what I threw at you was the gel packet you were supposed to pick off the pitch that the Southend lad left on the pitch. That's what it was. So, if I have to appeal if he puts that in and says that, I will show you guys the next time I have a press conference, because that is tantamount to ridiculous. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do anything other than that. I was frustrated because I thought it was the wrong decision. The 4th official's job, I understand, is very difficult, because he's got me in one ear and Kev from the other side over there at different times in the game. But his job's not to make decisions for the referee. His job is to appease us. That's what he's there for, And if he doesn't want to, then he just doesn't have to talk to us. What he doesn't do is then come back at you and make you argumentative to him. That lad, this young fella, that's what he did. So I picked his thing that he dropped and I flicked it at him. That's what I did.
And there's nothing you can do in the aftermath now with the penalty, is there? He's made a decision. You can't. It's not as though you can go to the National League.
I think I said it to you on Friday morning. When I managed previously, at any level, when there's a decision like that happened, whether it's right, wrong or indifferent, I've always had a referee ring me up and say, have you seen it back, Tom? What's your thoughts? And if I've been wrong on the day, I've said, you know what, you got it right, I'm sorry. Apologies. But I've also had them say, do you know what, Tom, I've looked at it, I got it wrong. Doesn't help me because we don't get any points for it. But there's a crumb of decency there if he's actually. But listen, these guys aren't accountable to the game of football. They're accountable to the PMGUL, is it? So they don't care what happens to us next week, do they? It's not their job to, by the way.
Right. And you've got a spare thought for Ross Bowers, because he was fantastic again tonight, wasn't it? I mean, the whole team were fantastic, but Ross Bowers, I thought, again was.
Yeah, I think you just nailed it there. I think I'm proud of how they played for themselves, each other, and for us and the town. They couldn't have given any more than what they've given. couple of decisions by ourselves, you know. And for me, the first goal, we shouldn't concede the first goal. There's 3 things happened again. At least it's not from the other end of the pitch like it was when I first walked in the door. It was at least from only 40 yards from a goal. So instead of 6 people making mistakes, 3 people did. That's progress. Unfortunately, it's the kind of progress I've got to hang on to. But I do, you know, you've watched the 5 league games I've had. I'll let you make your mind up whether we're harder to beat and we look more like we can win a game. Because I genuinely think we can. Do.
Thank you.
I was going to say, what was your I missed the start. Sorry, what was your take on the penalty? Sam Dalby just said it wasn't a penalty, and he was the player that got fouled in inverted commas.
But that, you know what, brilliant. I'm delighted he's done that, Sam. To be fair to the lad, that's it. There you go. From where I was, and I was a long way away from where Sam was there.
Yeah.
Sam was the lad getting tackled, and he's telling you it's not a penalty. Now, if the referee doesn't listen to that and act on that, and I want to say, it's crumb of decency is all I'm after. Sorry, I got it wrong. Okay, can wipe it away then. But I never have problems. Never have problems with good referees.